Oh, they did like a ladder match on Raw or something? Is that what happened?
Oh, man. On some of those Thunderdome shows, I would never rewatch them for obvious reasons, but like the in-ring was pretty high on those. They really were. I'm going to pull up the star ratings here for TLC 2019. No, 2020. 2020.
Yeah, it's 2020.
I'm sorry. I can't believe it's not a year ago. Good Lord.
2020 and 2019 just completely run together.
Oh, yeah.
It's more the fact that 2020 was so long that it confuses the brain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why to me, like, just runs together with 2019. 2021, like, I can kind of decipher out a little bit.
The only reason I'm kind of throwing a flag on the way you're phrasing that is because there was a global pandemic that started in 2020. So I kind of think the idea that they run together is probably not the best way of phrasing it, but I understand what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but I do. Like, I think that like 2020 is just like 2019 and 2020 were just, it's all the same year. 2020 doesn't feel like it existed, even though it existed and it was horrible.
It's true.
Your kids are gonna be like, so, tell me about what happened in 2020. Like one of the most striking events in the history of the world. And you're gonna be like, was that when Heyman took over on Raw?
Wait, was Heyman 2020 No, he took over in 2019.
Yeah. They run together for you, so you'll be confused,
Yeah, but he got fired June 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
June? Okay. I remember that because I was actually on vacation for that.
Okay. Here we go, folks. TLC 2020. The recap you've all been waiting for. The pre-show match. I remember this vividly because this popped me tremendously. Big E, Chad Gable, Otis, and Daniel Bryan defeated Baron Corbin, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and Shin in a match that the Twitterverse called a WWE take on Road 2 matches, and it was tremendous. That was the pre-show.
My God.
This match didn't happen.
It did. The opener was the match we're talking about. TLC, Drew and AJ. Miz cashed in apparently halfway in. It didn't count. I can't remember what happened. It got 4 stars. They went 27 minutes.
I'm not going to rewatch it. It's too long, but...
Fair. This was the show where the legit boss produced genuinely maybe her greatest performance ever against Carmella and got a 3 3/4 star match. And like Carmella's good. That match that bordered on miracle. That was like watching Rod Strong work. Well, I was going to go somewhere with that. I'm not going to do it. Cedric and Shelton, they won the tag titles against New Day. Another good match.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like it'd be good.
Charlotte returned, team up with Asuka to win the tag titles off of Shayna and Nia.
Okay, I kind of remember that happening.
Mm-hmm. Roman and Kevin had their just epic TLC.
I definitely remember that match.
Yep, 4.5 stars, and they naturally closed the show with a 12-minute Firefly Inferno match. I think Randy and Bray. It's a good show, man.
It sounds like it was actually like a really good show. I mean, had some good wrestling. It had maybe the most memorable moments of 2020 that was all undone with a CGI graphic.
Yeah, well, you get what you get, I suppose. Anyway, folks, that was TLC 2020. Bob, any memories of TLC 2020?
No, not really at all, as we were talking about it, but it does sound pretty good. I don't know, man. Like, I've blocked out all the Thunderdome stuff already.
They all work so hard, man. All of those dudes, they AEW, WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor, wherever else. They all work so hard during those shows with no fans. Bless them. I mean, Ring of Honor, they were still doing it as of about a week ago. So, yeah, there you go. We are here this evening on the world-famous Distraction channel that is affiliated with Fightful to discuss AEW Dynamite, which is a program that airs on TNT at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your local listings. Tonight is a big show. One of the better Dynamite lineups. And if Jeremy was in full bit here, he would do like a better job than me. And he'd be like, tremendous show, and he'd cross his arms and shit. But I don't.
We got a great show for everybody. CM Punk, he's on TNT. He's wrestling Lee Moriarty. This is a big test for CM Punk. He's really gone through the ringer, wrestling guys like Hobbs and Garcia. Now he's got another young talent in Lee Moriarty. Can Lee Moriarty pull off the upset? Is it MJF in CM Punk's head? we're going to find out Sting is back wrestling on TNT. Darby Allin, the quarter hour king, Billy Gunn, and the other Gunn son. I don't know which one, but they're going to team together. It's going to be a great match. The undefeated Guns against Darby and Sting, also undefeated. Could the winner get a tag team title shot? Potentially. Cody back in Atlanta. The last time he was here, he did the moonsault off the cage against Wardlow. Tremendous moment. One of the top moments in AEW Dynamite history. Has an Atlanta street fight against Andrade El Idolo. AEW TBS title, women's tournament. Who's wrestling in the tournament tonight? I forgot.
Ruby Soho and Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
Ruby Soho. O'Neal. Where's Ruby going tonight?
Destination unknown, hardly. Her destination is the Gas South Arena in Duluth, Georgia.
Wow, Bob.
That match is taking place. Bryan Danielson against Allen 5 Angels. Hangman Page is on commentary. Tremendous lineup, everybody. Tune in. We'd really appreciate if you tune in. AEW Dynamite, TNT, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're doing great in the demos. We'd like to keep the numbers up coming out of Thanksgiving. We'd like to pop the rating. Everybody, please tune in. We're going to give you a great wrestling show tonight. I promise you're not going to be disappointed.
Tremendous. And it is a great lineup. Like, genuinely.
Yeah, it is. There
is intrigue in all 5 of the announced matches. And, I assume they're going to stick with 5 rather than doing this thing they've been doing recently where they just tell you there's another match in like the graphic in the bottom left corner, which I'm not comfortable with. It's very raw. I assume they're sticking with 5. What will main event tonight's show? That's the big question. Bob, what will main event tonight? Tough.
Say it, O'Neal.
Yeah.
Say it. Say it.
I'm not even doing a bit. I think it will be Sting and Darby against Sting.
Yeah, it will be. I think it will be.
Oh, the street fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's fair.
I actually think Bob is very possibly could be correct, but so one of those two is Punk opening. Do we agree Punk's opening?
I think Punk's opening, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Sting in versus the Gun Club will be at the hour mark.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Fair.
I think Codeman will main event.
Where do you put Brian then?
I think Brian will be in the same spot he was in last week, where he's like halfway in the second, or like a third of the way into the second hour.
That's fair.
I would try and give Ruby and Chris, if they go on at like half an hour into the show, I don't know what that is for the ratings, I don't study that stuff, but the crowd will still be hot. And that match should be fucking awesome. Ruby's really at her best when she's paired with like a big powerhouse that can kind of just, and I mean, that's Chris's game. She's destructive in there. So the more I look at this, the more kind of cocksure I am. This is going to be fucking awesome. Here's my concern: Codeman concerns me. Because he's going to get juice. We all know he's going to bleed everywhere, and I just hope I hope the reaction is what he wants. I don't even know what that is anymore. I'm just hoping it's what he expects, and he can roll with it accordingly. Last week was cool because there was like 7 other wrestlers, so him doing his shtick made it actually funnier. Like them booing him was great. But in a one-on-one, it's different. I hope that isn't a kind of crutch because other than that, or a hurdle, I should say, because other than that, this show looks fucking foolproof, brother. Speaking of such, there you go. Yeah, you just put in the chat.
Yeah.
The pal, Dion, he's going to be going to the show. That's a great Dynamite to see. Meet up with the Steven Jensen. Pal. Kick the shit out of him. Yeah,
go as well.
Hit him with the fucking end of
Jensen. Yeah, punch him.
Yeah, there you go. Just punch him in the face. If he questions it, just say distraction. See how it goes. Tell us, keep us updated on that. Yeah, it's not this much blood would probably get them thrown off the air. To be honest, Eddie, that was, bravo, that was something else. Yeah. Bob, did you bleed that much when you faced JBL?
Not quite that much.
Okay, fair. So that was Dynamite. Anyway, on to 205 Live. Jeremy, what's the lineup this week?
I don't think they've released it yet, have they?
Oh, damn.
Isn't that the big... This is like the bit, is like no one has 205 Live spoilers.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really pay attention anymore.
This is legitimately like a thing that like people don't have 205 Live spoilers and they're like, where are they? Like they don't actually care, but...
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Jeremy? We should save this big discussion for tomorrow's episode of The Distraction. Because there are 2 big pay-per-views on this weekend.
There's
2 big pay-per-views on this weekend.
All right. I know I know one, like not a bit. I know one of them. There's.
What do you know?
I mean, I don't know if it's a big pay-per-view, but I think you're referencing one.
Yes.
NWA.
NWA Hard Times 2. Yes.
Yes.
Back and better than ever.
Yeah. Is the second one AAA?
The second one is War Games.
Fuck. I legitimately forgot that was this weekend. All right.
Yes.
It's
a big weekend.
I mean, AAA is this weekend too.
Yeah, AAA is this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure I'll tune into whatever Twitch stream that shows up on, and just sit there in the chat while everyone buries FTR.
The thing about War Games is like, oh, by the way, Joseph, I saw FTR this weekend. They said hi.
They call me a piece of shit.
No, they said hi.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they were signing. They're signing figures. They're signing the takeover figures. I assume one of them was from you.
No,
no,
that's not my deal, unfortunately. I mean, it could be, but they're
also signing AEW figures.
Sorry to hear that.
Machine Gun Carl Anderson said hi as well.
He's a big fan of us, yeah.
Yeah.
Still great wrestlers.
Didn't like it when I referenced Sour Boy. He was like, "Why do you have to do that?" I was like, well, "Everyone loves it, Carl." He's like, "Fuck off."
I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. If I had been a widely respected professional wrestler for 15 years, and then one of my friends made me do a funny face on a podcast that then led to a YouTube show, and that's what I was most famous for, it would probably bum me out too. I mean, I don't think he's actually most famous for that, though, right?
I don't think so. No, it's the Okada match.
I'd imagine it's legitimately for calling John Cena a nerd. Because people used to watch Raw back then.
That's true.
That was before it had less than 2 million viewers.
Yeah.
It was a different time. The hot wrestling period of 2016.
Oh, boy.
No.
So we got a real big problem. Somebody keeps fucking me here.
Wow, look at this. It's on Fight TV this weekend, the AAA show.
My God.
Oh, that's good.
There's a lot of good wrestling on this weekend, man.
Yeah.
A lot of good
War
wrestling.
Games.
Now, come on. War Games will almost certainly be better than Hard Times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not looking for this Hard Times show at all.
I mean, I'd imagine War Games has like 4 matches on it, and 2 of them are War Games. So, like, how bad could it be?
Yeah.
What are we reviewing on Monday? Are we reviewing all of this?
Bob's reviewing NXT. I'm reviewing War Games. Sorry, I'm reviewing Hard Times.
Oh, God.
That's fair.
Oh, God.
I'm watching it, baby. It's got like 15 matches on it. Yes, I am. Yes,
it's got like 20 matches on it.
Yes, I am. I'm very excited. The national treasure, Nick Aldis, is finally battling Bram, which is a program TNA run in 2015. Mickey James, Kiera Hogan should be pretty good. They seem to have a nice story there with their back. And I also expect many former WWE stars will appear.
Really?
Absolutely.
Did you talk to Nick about that?
I read the quotes. I'm very excited. I assume that Bram Braun will be there. So yeah, I'm fired up for it. Now though, let's not lose sight of the main topic tonight, which of course is NXT War Games. No, I'm messing. Let's talk about Dynamite some more. Okay, so is tonight going to be the sequel to Codeman beating Malachi in the 3rd match? Is Cody just going to win tonight, covered in blood like a hero? Or are we going to get... I kind of think so too. Seems bad.
Yeah, not ideal. But yes, I do think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know where this whole thing's going. I think we can all agree that whatever happens, Malachi needs to be far away. Like, no more Malachi Cody, please. Enough is enough. I am fascinated by the idea, not even doing a bit, of Malachi adding to the House of Black, whatever that means. I don't know if you saw Jeremy, but he had some lore today on his Instagram.
I did.
So people were speculating he's a certain Ring of Honor star. So that interests me.
Jonathan Gresham?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't know what the end game is for Cody. I haven't for a long time. I hope the match is good. I really think it would help Andrade to win.
It would be better if Andrade won. I think here's where this is going, Joseph. Cody wins tonight. this starts his. I don't know if you read this interview he did with Sports Illustrated. He wants that number 1 spot at PWI. He's gunning for it next year. He's going to have a great match with Andrade tonight. This is going to kick off the PWI run for Cody. He's going to get the TNT title. He's going to go on the open challenge run again. Just have banger matches every single week. The crowd's going to love him again. He's going to put on a hell of a run. It starts tonight with this Andrade match. Telling you. He's going to get.
Who gives a fuck?
TNT title, tag team titles. He can't win the world title because, it's accolade based too. It's not just match quality. It's also accolade based. Going to show up in the Impact Zone, get that belt, maybe show up in WWE. Just take one of those belts. They're not important. Just take one, be like, I'm the champion. Be fine. This is going to happen. ROH, he's showing up in Final Battle. Jonathan Gresham's going to win. Cody's like, you've beaten a lot of great wrestlers. You haven't beaten the greatest wrestler. You haven't beat Gresham. Take the ROH title with him as well. New Japan is coming over there too. Just wait. This is Cody's year. Cody's year, Joseph.
I think the PWI is August to August, so he's a little behind schedule. But
that's why he's got to pick it up. It starts now.
Sure.
It starts now with Cody.
I think it is borderline embarrassing that he's trying to will himself into this number 1 spot, because that's absolutely what he's doing. Because there is no way he will ever win. There is no way he'll ever win it if not being world champion, because it's kayfabe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anyone, he was a great TNT champ. I don't think we're desperate to hold it for a full year, which is probably what he'd have to do to win the PWI. So he's basically just resorted to just asking for it, which I respect. I would do similarly, but I don't know. I like Cody. I don't really know how much I need to see him on this show at this point, but that's not really a knock on him. It's more a case of the roster has really evolved a lot, man. And I don't know.
What do you think Cody's highest PWI 500 number is?
6. I don't know.
O'Neal, any guesses?
I'll go with 18. I don't think he ever got in the top 10.
Wow.
Oh, that's
O'Neal's just completely burying Cody's ranking here. He got 7th in 2020. He got 8th in 2018.
Yeah, because he was Ring of Honor champ at one point.
Yeah.
Remember he had the ring? Remember he had an actual ring?
Yes.
Fucking goon.
And he was 11th last year.
See, this is my thing, okay? Is Demon Grin, friend of the show. He's dunking on us here. We're dunking on me anyway. And there is definitely a growing perception that Cody is, in fact, a genius, and he's making fools of us all at every turn. And I have to say that I don't know if any of that's true. My concern is, though, and I think it makes it very clear, this is very important to me. If Cody turns heel and is the top heel in AEW, I will not consider that to be a got you moment where he has fooled me. I'll be very sad that he is then the top heel in AEW. I think they're in a tough position here, to be totally honest with you. I don't like Tony Khan was definitely doing a bit when he said, be careful what you wish for in terms of Cody being a heel. But I actually am with that. I don't want Cody to be the top heel of the promotion. That's bonkers to me. I don't want that shit at all. So I don't really know what the purpose of all this is, but if that is what it is, I don't consider that to be a victory, personally. I would not really be particularly happy about that. So now I think there's something to be said for him going back on the step and working a program with Hangman where you convince everyone he's going to win the belt and he doesn't. That could be really good shit. Him winning it or him I don't know, man. I'm not sure about that. I'm sorry. And I agree with Cheese now. I think he's self-aware too, but I don't know if he's I don't know if this is well crafted as some people pretend, if I'm being honest.
I do think he's self-aware. I think he's honestly self-aware enough to not win the title. Because if you do it, he's obviously got to be the heel. And yeah, Cody, top heel in that company, when you have a lot of guys who can be a top heel in that company, and a lot of guys who would be very good at it, it It doesn't work for me, brother.
I don't know. This is where my old man brain hurts me. Like, Chet's saying he's already a heel. It's like, I mean, he gets booed, but he's exclusively worked with heels.
Mm-hmm.
If he was a heel, he probably would feud with a babyface by now. I mean, Andrade is, as far as I know, a heel. He did kick the shit out of Chavo, which was very babyface of him. I mean, I understand they're doing the blurred lines and all that stuff, but I don't know. It's very like inside baseball for me, a lot of it. Top heel right now is probably Kenny's off the board, so it's probably Adam Cole or MJF.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Miro, when he's back, is in that picture too.
I don't consider Brian a heel.
No, not really. Like, I mean,
No, he's like a temporary heel.
Yeah. He's just being a dick.
He's good at that. Alan Angel said he's an arsehole.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Zach's right. Cody's a good heel. I'm not like sitting here telling you guys Cody's a mid-carder. I think he's very good. I'm just saying, all-star team,
What are the chances that Cody... I was trying to book like a Cody MJF program, and I just... Because it's very easy to do. If Cody goes heel, MJF just does the I told you type of thing. But that babyface is MJF, and you don't want to babyface MJF. But you could do it in a way if Cody goes heel, MJF does, I told you thing, but then they just combine of like, yeah, fuck it. Like, we are these people. Like, we embrace it.
Yeah, I don't know. This is what I'm saying with like I really struggle with fantasy booking Cody because I don't really know the most interesting scenarios for Cody. I find to not be particularly interesting for the other people involved in those scenarios. Does that make sense? Yeah. And that sounds so mean. And like Jeremy, I like Cody. I'm not even. He is what he is. I'm just being honest. Like, again, the Hangman thing is the best one I can come up with because he wouldn't win the belt. Him as heel champ would be great. Cody would do great, but like, is it what I want to see? No. Him and MJF is a great dynamic, but again, you have the problem you just said about. And it's like, I don't know. I stick with I genuinely think him and Dustin should just be a tag team for like a year. Just have great matches and just like let people want you to be a character again. That's my personal take.
O'Neal, do you have thoughts on Cody?
Oh, I mean, like, I don't mind him as much as most people. I do wish that he'd like pick a lane and stick with it, but it's good to, I guess, be flexible to the crowd reactions too. But the crowd reactions for him are weird, so it's an interesting situation.
It kind of has WWE vibes at times, which I'm not a big fan of. And like, every time I say this, people get mad at me. I'm sorry. I'm never going to pop as much as everyone else for like the crowd just not liking the babyface. It's not my thing. It's never going to be my thing. The ones like the deal that I'll always be consistent on. He's like this. The thing about he's in ring, I think, is so harsh. And I know Dave's messing, but like people do this thing with Cody where they pretend he's like and then the bell rang guy. Now he ain't Eddie Kingston, but he's definitely not. And trust me, like I saw that dude as TNT champ. He had good matches every week.
Yeah,
he can be a little bit self-indulgent. He can be. A little bit generous. Sometimes he'll bleed for no reason and have blood and guts wars in matches that don't need to be, but that's not really a massive criticism. He's a very good worker. He's a very good promo. He's a very good professional wrestler. But circumstance and context matters. And right now, I don't think he's a particularly interesting part of the show. And I think Zach's got a good angle with CM Punk. I think that could be really good. With Cody kind of resenting the idea that he built this place that now Punk comes in and takes his victory laps in and all that stuff. I think there's a lot to be said for a lot of different angles. There's none of them that really make me like super excited. If I'm being totally real with you, like it's kind of he's kind of become like the Codyverse is a bit, but there's actually a lot of truth to it.
Yes, I think there is some juice in a Cody like stable. I don't know as like a baby face stable though. No. Cody like leading like unless he's doing like mentor type of, like they had that and then they did the QT Marshall turn and everything. Like I think there's some juice in that. What's that, Joseph?
Well, the Nightmare Family stuff has just never got anyone over. You know,
Yeah.
I think Lee Johnson's great, but no one reacts to him because no one cares about the Nightmare Family thing.
Yeah.
Even though they split and they did the thing you just mentioned, they never made it a thing enough that these other guys got brought up by it. They just kind of existed in the background. It's weird.
Yes.
I can't explain it.
And that was the issue with it, is they did the split, but there was not enough focus on the guys around Cody and QT. They tried with QT's group, but then Cody beat a go-go, and they weren't doing anything with Solo or Komoroto. And as far as Nightmare Family stuff, Lee Johnson is the only person that was there, and he had a couple matches, like Brock Anderson, but we know he's where he's at this point. I think there's something to a Cody faction if you can do that dynamic correctly, where he is kind of a mentor to the kids, or a heel faction of he's just kind of the top guy that can never, but he still can't challenge for the title, and that kind of drives him a little bit as a raving lunatic heel. I do think there's some juice in that.
Oh, I do too. I think he could have great programs a heel, and as I said, so I mentioned Punk. It's a natural. Is it what I want Punk to do? Not really, but I think he could be good. Yes, I do. And, I think you can do stuff with, trying to think, babyface. Hangman's a natural for, however way you do that. I think you can do a great story of him and King, where he basically takes credit for Eddie being there. I mean, the audience would eat that up. There's a lot of good stuff you do. I'm just saying that, the top heel scares me. If he's just a top heel, that's fine. I think he could be good at that. Someone mentioned On in the chat. That was bad. That was bad TV. On dunked on that dude on TV and was like, I'm done with you, and then went straight back to him. And that's when I began to be like, I'm not so sure this is a master plan we're watching play out on TV here. Because now On and him, unless I'm mistaken, because I do miss, their arc is basically complete. They're just back together now. They did the Rocky 3 deal of getting the Eye of the Tiger back. He beat Malachi. So now On's just his manager and everything's cool. And it's that's not, to me, that isn't very compelling to me. He just overcame. So, would you rather have King work a Jericho program or Codeman? I mean, that's a very, very spiteful question. I'll be honest with you. I think there's definitely an intrigue to Jericho just because they've never touched. But if everything was equal, I would say Cody. Does that make sense? There's something weird to Jericho and Kingston as a program just because it's imagine even thinking that would have been a thing 3 years ago. There's something odd to it, but I don't think it's necessarily better. So, yeah, I think Cody's probably the pick.
There's something to Cody and Team Taz. Remember they were there with it, and then they just did nothing.
Never did anything with it, yeah.
With it. And Jake Roberts and Lance Archer kind of stuff as well. They didn't touch on that as much as they kind of probably could have. And I don't know where Archer's out right now, and I don't know where he stands once he comes back and everything. I feel like they should go back to the Team Taz stuff, because I know Team Taz is doing the thing with Leo and and Dante Martin's now involved of which way is he gonna kind of go. I think there could be something there with Cody, Team Taz. We know him and Ricky Starks are friends, and he's vouched for Ricky and everything. And the Hook dynamic of, hey, he was training with us, and then we turned. There's a dynamic there.
This is when it all started going wrong. Was Cody had a great match with Darby, put him over for the title, and then Sting came in, and if you remember, that's all one thing. There was this whole dynamic of Sting not endorsing Cody.
Right.
And there was a weird dynamic. And then Team Taz was feuding with all of those guys. Taz put the Taz mission on Codeman. And then the Shaq stuff came up, and he just never went back to it. And honestly, he's never really recovered as a character on TV.
Yeah.
Because the Shaq match was great. He should be very proud of it. The angles were exhausting. He then followed that with the Go-Go feud, which, sorry to hear that, because of many reasons that we do not have to get into here. Bob quote tweeted about them at the time. And then he put Malachi over, and that was great. But he came back, and to me, and this may be, people might not like this is just my opinion. I think Malachi's momentum is he may as well not have had that feud to me. Like, he was red hot at one point, and now he's just like, he needs to have a big program again. Like,
he's still in it. Like, he debuted in July.
Exactly.
And like, he is still in it in December.
A shame, because I'm not a huge fan, but he won me that first month. It felt like he was like a player.
Yeah.
But because they had to continue the Cody stuff, to me now he's just like neutral again, which is fine. I'm not saying they've buried him, because they haven't. Like, he's protected and then some. What I'm saying is he doesn't feel like a guy that's like, man, like, here's a perfect example. When the chat asked earlier about who's the top heel, Malachi didn't even come to my brain.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the case, because 4 months ago he beat Cody in a minute. For whatever it was, 5 minutes. So he's someone you need to find a program for. I don't know what that program is, to be quite honest. You'd have to look at the depth chart. But yeah, there's some this is my problem with kind of, I've found a lot of the analysis, and I don't listen to podcasts because, like, I do enough of them, and so that's my bad. Sometimes I miss a lot of good opinions. That's on me. I don't listen to Bob's excellent podcast that you can find if you go to podcast app and type in Ruthless Aggression, right, Bob? I don't listen to that. But I see the tweets, and I'll be honest, I think there's a real problem with the Cody stuff becoming just like, it's the worst thing ever versus it's brilliant and like you're behind on it. I think the truth is in the middle. I think Cody's having good matches and he's cut some great promos, and there's a lot of like interesting ideas in it. But I think it's objectively the case that Malachi like should have moved on. It hasn't helped Malachi in the end at all that he's gone on forever and ever and ever. Josh mentions about him moving on and doing stuff with Pac, and Pac's got stuck in this whole thing too.
Pac, Lucha Bros, and Malachi, if he could get House of Black going, bring in 2 guys. Like, you can easily do some trio stuff there. I don't know where that would put Andrade and that whole thing, because like, he's still mixed up with like the Pinnacle and FTR and everything. And I guess that's going somewhere. I assume that's going somewhere.
I think tonight's tapings, which is going to be something we have to avoid talking about, tomorrow we're going to have to be very wary of Rampage spoilers, because I sense we could have our first Rampage title change on a tape show coming up here. And if so, I think it could be important in terms of that angle. Because, and the confirmed shoot was the first one that mentioned this to me, Sting and Darby win tonight as they should. They knock over the 3rd ranked tag team. Sting and Darby beat FTR. What a great tag title match for Battle of the Belts. FTR versus Sting, Darby 2. That's an absolute slam dunk to me. And as soon as Shoot said it, it clicked for me of like, because really, what else? The Lucha Bros are money, but as champions, what else do you really need them to do as champs? Like, I know it sounds dumb, but you get what I'm saying? Like, what program do you like? Oh, they need to get to this one. Not necessarily. So that's something to think about.
Okay, so wait a second. So Sting and Darby win tonight.
Factual.
And then they get a tag team title match.
Yes, because Gun Club are 3rd.
Right.
So they would take their ranking and they have a win over FTR, right, from Arthur Ashe.
Right.
So they would be, the reason. And then, there you go. And then you could circle back to a feud that, to me, it went on forever, but they never got, like, the blow-off.
Okay, but so Sting and Darby are beating Lucha Bros?
No.
They're the champions.
FTR are wrestling for the belts. That's what I'm saying. First, I think we're going to get our first tape title change.
Wait, when are they wrestling for the belts?
Friday. Oh, you've been on vacation. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're doing 2 out of 3 falls on
that's
Rampage.
my bad.
That's fine. So what I'm saying is, FTR are going to win the belts for tonight's tapings. This is just all guesswork, okay? Which will air on Friday. And if it happens, we will not talk about it. Then they will have a tag title defense against Sting and Darby on Battle of the Belts, which is a great match for a special, right? And I think then they'll eventually circle back to this feud that they never did a stipulation match for and drop them to Santana and Ortiz. That's months down the line, because you need to give FTR a proper reign this time. They only had 2 months last time. But like, FTR's act is enhanced by being champions.
Yeah.
Lucha Bros, they're comic book characters, man. They don't need the belts. They're the coolest team in the world. That's just me. That's where I'm at right now. Bob, what do you think?
I also really like the FTR Santana and Ortiz program, and I'd like a proper match between them, because that's when Cash got hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd like a full-fledged match between those two, because I think it could be excellent. And then you give Santana and Ortiz their moment finally, and I'm on board with all this.
Santana and Ortiz are the most objective, like, they should be doing more. And they have been this for legitimately about 18 months now. And we've talked about it consistently on our shows. Like, they've not had like a bad run. They've had some really memorable moments. And the Inner Circle stuff, while a lot of us roll our eyes at it, I think they enjoy a lot of that stuff. Especially some of it's fun. I mean, Stadium Stampede was some classic shit. At this point, though, it's like, brother, can we get these two dudes wrestling as a tag team on TV, please? Like, they're too good not to be. And then maybe you get a program for them. I don't know what you would do, because Men of the Year you've kind of done with ATT and stuff. So you have to figure it out. Hopefully they're on TV tonight, though, with a promo of some kind. So we shall see. But yeah, anyway.
I clearly did not realize that FTR are fake, because they're facing each other at Triple Mania. Like, so they're doing the match tonight that's taped, and then they're basically doing back-to-back matches.
Flag on the play. This is disgusting. JJ, get it out of here. Carry on, Jeremy.
Yeah, they're basically doing back-to-back matches. They're doing a match that's taped tonight, but it'll air on Friday. I know.
Oh, this is it. This is it, Jeremy Lambert, Bob O'Neill. Remember when Christian first came in and I was like, he should be with FTR and Spears. They should be the pinnacle. Before MJF did the angle. Remember this? This was many months ago. Christian with Andrade and FTR as a faction. That's what I would do. Because
Christian, Andrade, and FTR.
Bro, imagine. That's money. That's money right there.
Yeah,
if he turned, because everyone expects him to turn on Jurassic Express, but doing the swerve within it that he actually joins FTR. Oh baby, that's some good shit. I'm in on that. Maybe it's just me because I love that idea, but he's such a fan of FTR and like, yeah, that's perfect. There you go. Anyway,
so Joseph, you feel very convinced here that FTR is winning tonight.
I mean, I'm an idiot. I'm probably wrong.
No, but I think like doing a title change on Rampage just to show that it can happen would be good, obviously, for business, because they are struggling a little bit to get people to watch that show. Yeah.
And I don't even think you're wrong, because FTR wins tonight, airs on Friday. They're doing the match on Saturday. It feels like Lucha Bros are gonna win that match to get the AAA titles back. So you just basically do a swap in that regard. Like I can definitely see it. I can 100% see it. Because I didn't realize the match was Friday until just now. Yeah. I hadn't put too much thought into it.
Also Friday is Tony Nese and Sammy. It's Championship Rampage. So there's two times. What
happens when I'm on vacation?
You should probably, in my mind, if you're doing two championship matches on a show that like people view as a B+, doing a title change would probably be advisable, I would say. Yeah. That's just, I don't think it's, to be clear, because it's important I say this, because sometimes it comes across the wrong way. I'm not saying it would be a mistake not to put the belts on FTR, because I don't know what they have planned for the Lucha Bros. I'm just saying that I think there's a lot to be said for that decision, because I just think FTR's act needs the belts way more than the Lucha Bros. And also, first two-time champs, that was their thing in NXT. They fucking love putting those twos up, and they're good at that shit, man. It's FTR. They're red hot right now. I think they've been better than ever in this last few months. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. There you go.
I'm for it now that I know that the match is happening and everything you've laid out. I'm definitely for it. I don't think you can beat FTR here, because I don't know where they go if they lose this title program. Like, they're better off as champions right now. Like, I agree with what you said, Joseph, is that like Lucha Bros don't really need the belts. They're going to go out there. They're always going to have great matches. They're cool. Everyone loves them. Like, FTR just feel better as champions.
Yes. And with the Lucha Bros, worst comes to it, you always have those trios matches with Pac.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, they did an awful lot of multi-mans with the Elite, and rightly so, because those matches were incredible. But, like, they could actually do more multi-mans like the one we got last week on the Thanksgiving Eve show. The one with, like, Cody, Death Triangle versus FTR, Andrade. That thing was awesome. They can churn those out. Like, every couple of weeks, they can do one of them. And Death Triangle is, they're perfect for that format. So there's a lot that could happen. I think Zach is certainly, I think this is a very real possibility that the Briscoes are going to be a part of this tag picture soon. And that's That'll be interesting in many ways. But them appearing to PNP would be a big feud. So, yeah.
They gotta do something with Proud and Powerful. Like we've hammered it home, Joseph, of like how much they just don't do with this team as good as they are. They're just always stuck in like inner circle stuff. I'm sure it's probably more recently than I remember, but when was the last time they just had like a proper tag team match
on TV?
Yeah,
a long time ago. It's like the FTR match.
Yeah,
they never even run Santana and Ortiz versus Men of the Year, which felt like a home run in that feud, but they never did that. So
yeah, it was the FTR match in September.
Wow,
was the last one. Like that's to go 3 months because that was September 1st. So
yeah, it's been a problem for a long time.
They went 3 months without.
Yeah, and look, there's part of it is, and like I feel. Look, here's the deal with this. Everyone knows how much I love those guys. There is definitely a truth to just like that tag division is stacked, so I get it to some extent, right? Like that in that tag division, they're probably fourth. And there is no other tag division in the world where they would be anything outside of the top 3. Like, there's no way they would. But that's what it is there. So, I think, Zach's right. I think Gwen is hurt. So, Private Party, they're another team they need to get back on TV when Gwen's back. But, yeah, this stuff's going to happen, man. Roster's really big. They're going to be guys that kind of fall through the cracks. I hope Santana and Ortiz are not going to be that, and instead their best stuff is ahead of them. I'm optimistic that's the case, but we shall see. I mean, I'm assuming their contracts, I would guess, have another 8 months, 9 months, because they came in August. So
yeah,
that's. I'm not saying like they're going to leave. I'm just saying this next few months is pivotal because I don't think they're really like their options as a tag team aren't great because we know why. But it's something to look at. I don't think Swole is going to be the only name that just mutually they just kind of.
I don't think so either. Mm-hmm. I don't. She's obviously the first. I think I'm not thinking of anybody else
in that fashion. Yeah, because like there were some obviously got released for very legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
And some were visa reasons and everything.
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything of a mutual. Just we're not going to renew. But yeah, a lot of contracts are coming up because we're at the 3-year mark. And yeah, I do think that there are going to be people because of all this new talent they've brought in and everything. People just move down in the pecking order, and people might see other options elsewhere. The thing is I think there's multiple reasons for staying in AEW. One, you don't know like. If you go elsewhere, what that's going to entail. 2, they're still going to pay you good money, and you're still like on national television. Look, Santana and Ortiz, we can complain about should they be used better and everything, but they're going to go to the NXT ain't what NXT was 3 years ago when Paul was calling them, making that offer. Who knows the main roster.
I mean, they've publicly said that like. They don't think they'd be able to do the tag team stuff in WWE. So
yeah, it's like where are you going to go to? You can do indie dates.
It's scary, man, because the actual third option for a top tier talent like them is Japan, but that isn't really an option right now. So
no, Japan is shut down travel through at least the end of this year.
Yeah.
So
and that's always been a thing. Like. A top act in pro wrestling can always that's like an option, right? And that not being on the table when I say Japan, but like at this point in this day, it's New Japan now, right? Like Noah's doing okay. But I don't think they're going to be like signing, acts in a bidding war with WWE and AEW by any means. So it's and here's the, I don't even think they'd like a stylistic fit there necessarily, but it's still worth talking about in terms of just generally, like. New Japan not being like an immediate option, it's not great for the new 100 free agents that WWE release into the world every other month. Like, it ain't, I don't know, Bob. But then again, Bob, capitalism, huh?
True. Just how it works, man.
Yeah. Suck it up, loser.
I truly think that New Japan Strong could be an option if they just reworked how they put out content. Like if they rework that, I think that's a viable option because it seems like they're willing to spend something. And you get a platform with New Japan Strong. Is it the best platform in the world? No, but like, is it any weaker than non-AEW WWE? I don't think it is. Like, if you're on New Japan World, is that truly that much weaker than Axis? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, New Japan Strong doesn't have like a ton of buzz or anything, but neither does Impact.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
and at least if you're with New Japan Strong, like once travel opens up, whenever that happens, it could be another year. Like there is the bridge to just go do New Japan at that point. An easier bridge than if you're in Impact or AEW.
I mean, firstly, it shouldn't be New Japan Strong. It should just be the New Japan product in America.
Yeah.
And, that is, I know that I bore everyone with that, but, like, that is true. Like, there's no reason they should be operating like a US promotion with their TV. Like, there is no TV. So, it shouldn't be New Japan Strong. It should be New Japan insert funny event name. And it should be live 2 times a month with a cool card. And you have one guy maybe from from the core New Japan guys, and they fly over, they work a big match. You try and build some of these guys up as your own talent in America, whether that is Jonah or Buddy or whoever they're using right now. Gresham worked a New Japan Strong show the other week. He could be someone that you like build around. I have no understanding of their setup whatsoever. I don't get what they're trying to achieve. It appears to me that someone is just grossly outdated on what American wrestling is supposed to be, and that's what they're going to try and do. Their model is basically like Ring of Honor's model 5 years ago, which I don't think I need to explain why that isn't a good idea.
Right.
Playing out in front of us. So it's very frustrating because I agree with you. In a lot of ways, they should be the third, really. But they don't feel like it to me, and that's a shame.
I'll comment on that in a second. I need to ask O'Neill's permission for something. O'Neill, can I dunk on JJ?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. That was breaking news at 2:30 when I wrote the article, JJ.
Like, why did Bob have to make that clear whether or not?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get O'Neill involved, man. Trying to, passing the ball a little bit.
No, you can do whatever you want to JJ. I'm not happy with him after yesterday still.
Wow, what happened yesterday?
When he was talking about Alexa going to Impact.
Oh, yeah, that was bullshit.
Oh.
Did you see that, Jeremy?
I saw some of it. I did see some of it.
I broke my phone when he did that. Threw out the window in fear. That's as low as you can go, right? Like, the Jonathan Gresham thing upset me enough. When I saw someone fake graphic him in the Impact, when I tell you I was mad, you don't even. But there you go. Here's what it is. Dynamite. What else is on tonight's show? We actually had like a real wrestling conversation here, guys.
Yeah, it was good.
All our shows are really good. Like,
I agree. We should get paid way more, guys.
Yeah, factual.
Please go take my email account directly from my Twitter bio and send me money. Did I cut out then?
No, bad. You did not.
Good. Okay, good. Because my internet went. You guys are. That's fine. Look at this shit, man. Winter is coming is official. An actual scoop, it appears, has just arrived in the chat. JJ, do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I sense because like you can't have Hangman waiting until the new year, man. It's too long. You can't do that.
Okay, well, so he's just not probably going to be on Battle for the Belts then, which I mean it's only an hour show. It is what it is, but
I think there may. This is. I don't know how true. Like this is me just thinking. Okay. There's something going on with Scorpio Sky's ranking. And my guess was it was the TNT title. He's ranked third. And Jeremy looks at the rank. He covers the rankings. He gets very mad about them. They only do that as a booking plot device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's either going to wrestle for the TNT title or they're going to use him as like a TV defense, which I think he wouldn't be the strongest defense because of just no one would believe he's going to win. But like, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
It's fair. I mean, like, because they're probably going to do Cole at Revolution, right? Like that.
Yes, I think so.
So you got to fill probably one more defense before then, right? Like I thought they were going to save Brian till January, but
yeah,
I'm doing it now.
Hey, you're dumb, O'Neal. That was always going to be MJ's coming.
Fair. You've just been owned, Bob. Brian needs to get one last match in for his Wrestler of the Year case, brother.
Yeah.
Let's get one last classic in. Okay, so can we all agree now as a family that if the Gun Club wins tonight, Fleet fucked?
No, the ratings are gonna go up. Like Billy Gunn's a draw, quarter-hour king, Billy Gunn.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask again. As a family, can we all agree that if the Gun Club wins tonight, Fleet fucked?
I think it would be a poor decision, yes.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Jeremy?
I don't know.
Coward.
For Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn should have beat Darby on Rampage the other week, and he should beat him tonight in this tag team match.
How many minutes is Bryan Danielson and Alan Angels going to go tonight?
It should honestly go 30 seconds.
How dare you? No
It
way.
really should.
Give me
Danielson
6,
should just
man.
fucking kick him in the head and be like, it took Kenny Omega 20 minutes to beat this guy?
This is disgraceful. This program is falling apart here. Last minute. Okay. CM Punk versus Lee Moriarty. My one thing with this match, I'm happy whatever they do because it's such a big spot for Lee and I'm excited. I really don't want it to be like a backdrop to the MJF stuff. And if they do it, I'll understand, but I just want them to wrestle for 10, 12 minutes, man. I really do. But Bob, how much Lee Moriarty have you seen? Is this going to be like your first real sight of him?
Yeah, I mean, like the AEW run is he worked with Matt Sydal in a tag team at the Dark I was at, and
Yes, he did against 2.0, right?
Yes,
yeah,
that was good. But yeah, no, the AEW run's like the first real thing. I've heard of him a lot, and he's really lived up to the hype so far. He's very good. I'm excited for this match.
Yeah, I hope it gets. I mean, Punk seems like he's really excited for it, and he went 11 minutes for QT Marshall, so I expect this to go an hour.
Real quickly.
Oh no.
No. Danielson beat Dustin, Eddie, and Miro in the tournament, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Yes, he did. I don't know. I think I want this Alan Angels match to be a real match because I think Angels is so good, but I understand it's probably not the play. I do not think he's going to be wrestling Anna Jay. She would kick the shit out of him.
Factual.
Definitely doesn't. I don't know if Ty Conti's like actually Dark Order, but man, my head would explode if like Danielson and Ty Conti just like kicked each other in the face.
So would Brian's, I think.
Yeah.
He's a shooter, brother. You don't want to.
She is.
Levels to the game, brother. Levels to the game. Handshake before and after. Pinnacle attacks post match. Punk tags with Lee next week. I mean, that sounds awesome.
Oh,
I would change it slightly to Punk teams with Lee and Sydal versus MJF, Wardlow, and Spears. But that's only because I'd like Matt Sydal to get booked. But I like the core idea very, very much. I think you're going to get John Silver next week. I'm pretty sure that's the main event next week.
I'd be very surprised.
What was that? What did Bob just do? Bob, what was that?
Excited, man. You know I love John Silver.
Was that excitement you did there? Oh, he pumped his fist.
Yeah.
O'Neal, can you say Fed Dead?
No.
No, he can't.
Not yet.
That.
Not yet. Wow.
Yeah.
I
Feels
have
like we're getting closer.
both of their shows this week, so you know.
Man, it really is over, huh? Leave the memories alone, man.
I mean, I'm gonna watch SmackDown though because Brock is back this week, so
sad. Brock's like the thing that keeps you like.
You're worse than Vince.
Yeah. You just can't help yourself when it comes to Brock Lesnar. Very fair. Guys, I need a good idea for TW.
What happened to the ROH Fed?
I don't know if I told you, but I got to Final Battle 2023 and I could draw 12,000 people in New York, and I was like, I think I broke the game and just closed it and walked away. I was so mad that I was drawing that big of a house. Like, that's how dumb I am, guys. I got actively angry that I was that popular. Well, this is bullshit. This isn't real.
It's
Very
fair.
sad. Very sad.
started-
Very, very sad.
I started one with 2011 Ring of Honor, and I only had like $25,000, so I don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, that's pre-Sinclair, brother. That's a different time.
Yeah,
You had Roddy Strong, though. Roddy Strong
Sure.
might have been the champ at that time.
he is
2011.
the TV champ, I believe. Yes.
You know Roddy Strong, you know who he beat for the World Heavyweight title, Bob?
Who?
He beat one of our favourite wrestlers. I'm going to check this because I don't want to make an idiot of myself because I'm bad with Ring of Honor title lineage, but I'm pretty sure he beat the Oracle of Wrestling's favourite wrestler, Tyler Black.
My God.
Very confident in this. Let's make sure, though. Before
Isn't
I go
he
any
good
further.
now? Don't the people like Seth Rollins?
Dude, Ric Flair just like went on like a 15-minute rant about Dick jumped him on the rampway, and I was like, man, fuck, just anything for content, right? I mean, we sit here and do our production meetings, and I feel like we're stretching, but Jesus wept. That dude's losing the plot.
I've not listened to his. I listened to the first week of the podcast. I didn't listen to the full thing because they timestamped it. So I was like, oh, this
that's
seems
good.
like an interesting article to
Yeah.
get. And I've not listened to it since. I've seen
you-
like quotes and stuff.
Yeah, have you seen this quote about Seth?
Yeah.
He's like,
We
you
ran
should have
it on.
kayfabed it.
Yeah, we ran it on our site.
Fuck. Like, listen, man, I don't want Seth Rollins a lot. The dude literally just said, yes, I was scared when I was jumped completely out of nowhere by a fan. And Rick
Yeah.
was like, coward.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roddy Strong beat Tyler Black for the RH title.
Yo, JJ
Oh.
actually has a point where TNA 2010 is a fun one to do because you do have a lot of money and that roster's pretty good.
No,
Yeah,
no, stop listening to him on this stuff. None of it's fun. It's already
It-
over by then.
If
It
I
works for them, but like if you're doing it with like a proper wrestling mind, it's not, it's not the worst thing in the world.
It's over, Bob.
I still am stuck on just like the final month of my TNA 04 because I've not played that game in forever. And I want to continue to stay invested in it because I've done 11 months. I haven't been able to do it. I just haven't played the game. I like the roster that I have, and I feel like I'm doing well with it. I can't bring myself to continue it. I tried 2010. I did try 2010 because the roster is very good. I couldn't get into it at all.
They've already got rid of the 6-sided ring. The crowd hates the product. Everyone's mad. Sad times, man. Sad. Anyway, let's go back to Roddy Strong beating Tyler Black. Okay, Bob, we're now
Yep.
going to do a game called I don't fucking know. I'm gonna name the Ring of Honor champion, and you are gonna tell me. You have a choice. You can either tell me who he beat to become champion, or who he lost the belt to. You can choose, right?
Oh Jesus! All
Or
right.
you can double dip and become king, right? Okay, here we go. You ready? The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
You can give me like a year at least, or
He won the belt on September 17th, 2005, and he lost it in December 23rd, 2006.
okay.
Would you like a hint?
Yes.
He won it from a former WWE star that would then return to the company. He lost it to a then current TNA tag team wrestler.
Okay, so one is Jamie Noble,
Factual. That's who he won it from. Yes.
Okay.
Good job, Bob.
and then the other one, you said current TNA tag team wrestler.
At the time, that was my
Okay.
bad. That was bad English. When he won the belt, he was a TNA tag guy.
Okay.
It's Jack Crosby's favorite title change ever.
Oh wow, O'Neal, you should
Yeah.
be.
Fake friend.
Yeah, this is sad. You're going out sad, O'Neal.
Who is it? Because I'm just trying to think of the TNA. tag
No,
team.
we're not telling. Nobody say it.
Chat's already said it.
Don't look at.
Oh, yeah, it's Homicide. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, James Gibson, or Jamie Noble, as you called him, which I believe in the wrestling industry call that the slave name. Apparently, that's what we call it when someone works for WWE. Seems bad.
Jesus.
The best ever slave name is Paul White. Have you ever heard this story? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bob tweets this often. This is great. Paul White did one match outside of WWE and was like, I am no longer the Big Show. That is my slave name. And then returned and was the Big Show for 10 years. Dumbest shit ever, bro. He didn't do any other matches. Did one. He was like, finally, I am free.
Yeah, because he was supposed to, I think, work Hogan, and it got turned into Lawler, and then yeah, he just went right back after.
Fucking wrestlers, man. God bless them. Okay, I'm not gonna do that game anymore because Bob, I feel like you struggled with that greatly, so I'm gonna move on.
Man, the disappointing with the homicide. Like,
Yeah, I should have gotten that one.
Who did Jeremy Lambert? I'm throwing it to you, okay?
oh no.
Who did future AEW star Kevin Steen, who retired in 2013? Who did he beat for the ROH World Title, and or who did he lose it to? Would you like a clue?
Yeah.
He won it from a man that has recently returned to professional wrestling. He lost it to one half of a very famous tag team.
So he beat Adam Cole and he lost it to Bobby Fish.
Well, 0 for 2 isn't bad. He won it. He won it from Davey Richards. He lost it to Jay Briscoe. There you go, folks.
Adam Cole recently returned to pro wrestling.
I know, it was a good answer.
He went away for 4 years.
I can confirm Bobby Fish was never the Ring of Honor World Champion. Things never got quite that slim.
You said one half of a world famous tag team.
Yeah. To be fair, I just saw Michael Elgin's name, so maybe I was wrong. Yeah.
When I think world famous tag team, I think Red Dragon.
Bless this lineage, man. It really takes a turn at some point.
It is something. Speaking of ROH world champions, O'Neill's favorite ROH world champion is kind of back this weekend on a show you're watching, Joseph.
Roderick Strong?
No.
Yeah, I saw that last week. Like, things are not going well for them, huh? They got to bring in Austin Aries.
Oh. See, here's the thing with Austin, and I promise everyone, I'm not doing a bit. He is, like, where is he on the problematic scale? Because, like, he's not like, I'm sorry if I'm missing something, but he's not like done something.
No, I mean,
he's just kind of an idiot, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't do himself any favors with.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is because, like, you know, as we all know, there are professional wrestling promotions that are booking some very, very troublesome characters.
Yeah.
And from what I know, he is just, you know, someone I don't want to talk to about COVID. Which,
yeah, that's fair.
I could be missing it. Like, I also don't know if he's good anymore because I haven't seen him wrestle in a long, long time.
No one has.
I will say, though, and I'm sorry, folks, I'm going to do it. He was fucking great when he was on. He was a great professional wrestler. That's what I'm saying.
He was.
It's good for a while there because the Impact stuff was really great when he was the top guy. But in Ring of Honor, he was good for put it all together, maybe 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is I take his side against Bob.
Wow. You know, tonight's the night that the NWA title is being defended, like 5 minutes down the street from me.
Missing out, Bob.
The hotel ballroom.
Why aren't you going?
Well, it's $25. There's also
you paid a lot of money to do this show.
It's
you
true.
can't afford $25.
There's also like 5 other matches before that. I think you can meet Bob Orton if you go, which I don't really want to do either. So,
wow, you share a namesake with him.
It's true.
You can ask about Randy.
As far as Randy's not there, he still lives here. I mean, he's probably got
what's
better
your son
stuff
up
to do.
to? Haven't seen him in a
Dude,
while.
imagine Randy shot an angle with Trevor Murdoch. I would ascend. Do you know how happy I'd be if that was what they did? Randy won the £10 of gold in a hotel. God bless. Tremendous, tremendous stuff. Randy always should be the NWA champion.
Oh.
Probably will be in about 10 years.
I genuinely don't think he'll ever wrestle for anyone but WWE.
No, I don't think so.
I don't say that about anyone because I assume the work. Like, I assume everyone will eventually get tired of it. They love that dude, man. The amount of trouble he got himself in without ever really being punished. Like, he kind of got de-pushed a little bit at one point, but not really.
Yeah,
he'll just be there forever, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could still win the NWA title under the WWE banner. Like,
Yeah, what was he? WWE's going to close in a couple of years, so he's going to have to work somewhere else anyway.
oh,
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
You should have.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Who would be a good, if I bought the NWA tomorrow, who would be a good champion? It has to be someone that doesn't work for the top two companies. I'm definitely not asking this for TEW purposes.
Roderick Strong.
I mean, he technically works for, but yeah. Yeah.
You said top two companies.
Yeah, fair. Fair's fair.
Yeah.
He would be a great NWA champion. You imagine him just working with just big, just useless.
Joe, we've had
locals.
this discussion. Isn't the answer Bud Matt? Like just traveling around
I
doing.
forget about him, man. He makes me sad. Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate you just listing my favorite wrestlers. I like that a lot. But Bob, what do you think? NWA champions, someone that doesn't work for the top two companies.
Man. Yeah, I think Bud Matt is actually like a good answer, just in terms of a guy who can go out and work. Strowman, I guess, maybe.
This is my actual answer.
Yeah,
that's
I saw
another good
Gresham
one.
in the chat. That's a good
Gresham
one.
would be good. Because
Did
he
you say
would like
Strowman?
Yeah,
Braun Strongman.
he could.
He would be fun. He'd be an attraction. He could go and like work the local shows and pop people, you know?
He's a draw.
I guess.
Trying to make money.
I'm just
Bray Wyatt.
imagining like
the fiend, Bray Wyatt, Joseph.
I'm just imagining like Rod Strong going to some shitty local indie, working some useless fucking local guy and just kicking the shit out of him.
Dude,
just
the Fiend.
kicking the shit out of guys.
Joseph, the Fiend would draw.
He should never be the NWA champion.
Come on. Imagine him with the 10 pounds of gold coming out in all the Fiend costume
No,
and
I'd rather
everything.
no, I'm good on that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it'd be
should do
something.
this. You should do this.
I want to do an actual alliance where, actually rebuilding, because the NWA was never a singular promotion. So, like, the idea of rebuilding the alliance is interesting. The only problem with it is, if you have the belt as an alliance belt, they can just do title changes whenever they want.
Yeah.
So it could be coming back on Bray Wyatt for a while now.
If it isn't it though, like if you're the NWA, like, and you own the belt, you can like override it. Or am I completely?
I don't know, because I think it depends it depends on how you have it set. Because the other problem is like, what would I just play as one of the territories? That seems dumb too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really want to draw like 40 people and have Rod Strong beat some dipshit in front of his family.
I feel like that is the way, because like in my TNA game, like I had the NWA World Title and I didn't want it anymore because I got sick of it and I threw it down with Jeff Jarrett. Said, "Fuck this promotion." But like every time, like they would use the champion, they would never actually like just do the title change until I just said, "All right, you can have the belt back, and then you can do title changes on your own." I feel like if you're like the top promotion and you own the belt, then you have like final say over sort of like who gets the belt.
Another scoop that JJ missed on.
Dude,
Embarrassing.
JJ's getting just destroyed. Scoop's 2 hours late. Jay Shell is in here dropping the actual scoops. JJ's out here being Mike Johnson. Just sad. You hate to see it.
The only other good Brit is back, Anthony Ogogo. Rule Britannia and all that stuff. Now, how great would it be if the NWA title lived in like modern wrestling and like it showed up in PWG, Like imagine how cool you could do so many fun things with the NWA title in today's wrestling world. Or you could just defend it in the hotel local to Bob.
Yeah, well, the thing is about wrestling is everyone's a coward now. No one wants to do anything cool.
Factual. I mean, if I was the NWA guy, I would just you would get a work rate champ and just have them booked everywhere. Just everywhere you can. And, you would build that kind of old school feel of like the NWA champ touring the country, touring the world if you could, defending it. It would be fucking awesome, but that's a lost art. It's a shame. Who's Trevor Murdoch wrestling? You don't know, right, Bob?
I know he's wrestling. Tonight.
Forgot the guy's name. Some local guy who is going to...
That's more like it. That's better than Mike Knox.
Yeah. I was going to ask O'Neal do you know who is wrestling at the pay-per-view? But you just said it.
Oh God, is it Mike Knox?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad dunking on it because, like, it seems like Mike Knox is a really good guy. And he was definitely one of those dudes that wrestling kind of, like, he never really got a fair shot, right?
Yeah.
He just kind of floated around. But at the same time, it is 2021 and he probably shouldn't be wrestling for the NWA World Heavyweight title. If I'm being honest, it's difficult.
I just pulled up the Hard Times card, and there are a lot of matches on this show.
Yes, there are, Bob.
Yeah, it's got about 22 matches.
Well,
my
it
God.
only costs £22, which I think is about $35. So, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's do some promotion here before we get out because I have something very important to talk about. Folks, I need everyone right now to go and watch Chris Bourdain's Music Moonsault's draft, in which I just slaughtered young Jeremy Lambert. I'm 4% away from Jeremy on the poll.
Oh shit! I gotta retweet this and just tell
um,
everybody to vote for me.
I'm here to announce that Chris has officially stepped down, and he has implored the public to vote for me.
Wow, there's a conspiracy against me.
He has described Jeremy as a mad tyrant, which is fitting.
Fair.
I'm catching up on Twitter here because there's a lot going on, as always, in the world of professional wrestling. This is a great AEW Dynamite preview. I know what you're talking about. There's a lot here, man. Did you guys see the thing about whether or not MJF and CM Punk's promo segment was the best in the last 20 years? Fucking owned, man. What an incredible tweet. Why does everything have to be the best in the last 20 years? What? Just leave
Because
it, man. Just say it was good.
You know, wrestling was great 20 years ago. You know, there's pre WWF or WWE and post WWE. Pre getting the F out, post getting the F out.
Good. Okay. What else? AEW Dynamite is on TNT tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your local listings. Watch the main event featuring Codeman, reality show star. You'll be seeing Bob review Series 2 of that real soon on The Distraction.
I'm excited.
Yep. There you go. Bob's excited. You should be too. What else is happening? The Distraction is on tomorrow, which if you're watching this and don't know that, seems bad.
What are we talking about tomorrow?
Hard Times, NXT War Games,
Boy,
and Dynamite.
I didn't even know one of those shows existed an hour ago.
You better do some research, son, because I'm coming with facts, all right? That'll be tomorrow. I don't know. That'll be tomorrow. An hour into it, you can join Bob O'Neill for the Corner 3. And then, and this is what I was getting to. Jeremy, are you ready to do some fantasy booking on Friday, brother?
I am. I'm very excited for this.
You know how long I've waited for someone to just ask me to just do some fantasy booking? Instead, I get invited on to talk about like releases and the industry's struggles with COVID. And now I can just come on, I can just fantasy book. I can sit there and talk about Roderick Strong winning the Royal Rumble. I can't wait. So go to the Twitter. We're going to be tweeting that link very shortly. And, you know, that'll be Friday. We have no show on Friday, Jeremy, and I have the Grin later in the night. But by the time that show airs, everyone should be asleep. So, yeah, tune in for that.
This fantasy booking that we're doing with Jay Shell and Carissa is like really our wheelhouse, right? Because you're right. People want us to come on and Joseph, Jeremy, talk about news. Like what's happening did you watch Raw last night? Let's talk about that shit. Like let us do some dumb fantasy booking. That's what we enjoy doing. Yeah. Bless Jay Shell and Carissa for having this show and inviting. I think we're the first guest on it too. They knew.
We're second.
Are we? I thought they premiered last week. They didn't have a guest last week. Am I just completely watching this?
They did. They had a guest.
Who was it? Kick them in the head.
Oh, I can't think of who it was, but we're definitely not first, Jeremy.
Clearly not important. Clearly not important. I was lied to.
You've blown it.
I'm pretty sure I was told we were the first guest, Joseph.
It's over. That's it. The show's cancelled. It's finished. Bob, get our booking feedback. It's finished.
You got it.
Damn it.
For the first
so anyway, that's Friday.
Guest.
Like when the Good Brothers went on Quizzlemania. You can follow at Robert O'Neill 31. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
For all your latest updates on Soup. And to seek refunds on the world famous Late Night Grin platform on Patreon, latenightgrin.com. Sign up for just $1 to get some of the worst content in the world. There'll be more of that coming this month, as always. It is the holidays, let me say. I mean, you guys were talking about holidays. I don't know what you were talking about, but this Christmas is coming up.
Sure.
There'll be some thematic shows on our platform. I'm going to wear hats. I'm going to wear Christmas jumpers. Very, very excited. So much coming up. But first, we start with the flagship, The Distraction, a show that Jeremy and I show up to every week without any understanding of what we're going to talk about. But I am going to pretend to care about hard times and war games. Jeremy, any final words?
I got to read these Hulbert chats. And speaking of our friend Jay Shell, she says, "Hi guys, stay tuned for the video of me crying during the Lee versus Punk match. Can't wait to put it in the Friday show. Representation matters. Thanks for making me smile through the Swole news." And she also says, "The fact that Gun Club is number 3 and Santana and Ortiz are number 4 is so upsetting." Again, I apologize if I read these weirdly. When they're on the site, it like cuts off in like mid-sentence and goes to the next line, so it fucks everything up. I do want to put over Jay Shell, not only for booking us, even though we weren't the first guest, booking us on Friday's show, but one, she's doing great work at Body Slam, and I love to see it. She mentioned it earlier, but Cass is once again traveling. I swear that man just doesn't stay home. He just travels every weekend. There's
a pandemic going on. God damn it!
Jesus. That Dynamite tonight. So Jay Shell's already in charge. I think she's only been working there for about 2 minutes, and she's already in charge. And she did an interview with Baron Black, and also her letter to Big Swole after the Swole news came out was very good as well. So everyone go follow Jay Shell on Twitter. Jay Shell, drop your Twitter right fast so I can put it on screen to close us up here, and support her work. She's doing good shit.
Hey, do you know what my thoughts are on us doing this fantasy booking show, Jeremy?
That smells like big money to me. Give them hell, TK!
There you go. Everyone follow Jay Shell on Twitter.
Greatest ever, man. I mean, Jay Shell too.
Matt Hardy's so good.
Funny to me is incredible. Yes, I'm very excited. Lots coming up. I think we're going to win an award this year, Jeremy.
Really?
I've decided that if we don't win an award, I'm going to make one.
I mean, we did that last year.
Oh, we did? Shit.
Yeah. We got a banner, Joseph. I still have it.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone buy me a trophy. All right. Cool.
There we go.
Bye, everyone.
O'Neal.
What's up?
Tell her, I don't know, give us a sign off here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us again. Everyone have a good time watching Dynamite, and see you tomorrow for The Distraction.